Today, we are diving deep into a new generation of digital threat, something that honestly feels less like your typical malware and a lot more like a sophisticated commercial-grade piece of software. We're talking about VoidLink, the cloud-native spy.
So let me just start with this question for you. What if malware was every bit as smart, as adaptive, as the incredibly complex cloud systems it was designed to attack?
Well, it turns out that in late 2025, cybersecurity researchers at Check Point found a pretty startling new answer to that exact question. They gave it a name, VoidLink. And believe me, it represents a huge leap forward in malware design.
To really get a handle on this thing, we've got to understand where it lives. You see, voiding link is like a ghost in the cloud. It's a threat that was custom-built from the ground up for the sprawling, complex digital infrastructure that powers pretty much everything we do now. So, what is it exactly? Okay, at its core, VoidLink is an advanced malware framework. And the words that really matter here are it targets Linux systems, it's packed with cloud-specific capabilities, and its main goal, its whole reason for being, is to get in, stay quiet, and maintain access for a long, long time. This is not about a quick smash and grab, it's about becoming a permanent, unseen resident in your network.
But here's the thing. This isn't just some standalone piece of code. Oh no, it's a full-on operational platform. To really wrap our heads around it, we need to step inside what is essentially the hacker's cockpit and see how this thing is actually managed.
And this is where you start to see the incredible level of professionalism. VoidLink has its own web-based dashboard. I mean, just look at this menu. Dashboard, attack, infrastructure. It's organized like a legitimate piece of enterprise software, built to help an operator run their campaigns as efficiently as possible.
And check this out, the builder panel. This means an attacker isn't just stuck using one version of VoidLink. Nope, they can spin up new, customized variants whenever they want. They can pick and choose specific capabilities, fine-tune its stealth mode, and even decide how often it phones home. It is, for all intents and purposes, malware as a service, all run from a single, clean interface.
In that customization, it just keeps going. When it was discovered, the framework had 37 distinct plugin modules available. Think of it like an app store, but for launching an attack. This modularity means an operator can just bolt on new functions as needed, everything from stealing credentials to escaping virtual containers. It makes the implant unbelievably versatile for literally any situation.
Okay, so we've seen the slick user interface. Now let's get technical. Let's pop the hood and really break down the anatomy of this digital spy to see what makes it so dang powerful.
So VoidLink's power really comes down to 6 key pillars. It's not just in the cloud, it was practically born there. It's a total chameleon, changing its behavior to dodge detection. It uses seriously advanced rootkits to become a ghost in the machine. It's got that massive plugin system we just talked about, super flexible communication channels, and get this, it actively fights back if you try to analyze it.
Let's talk about cloud first for a second, because this is so important. VoidLink isn't just running in the cloud. It knows it's there. It can tell if it's on AWS or Google Cloud or Azure. It knows if it's inside a Docker or Kubernetes environment, and it actually changes what it does based on where it wakes up.
The plugin categories here, they really tell the story of an entire attack lifecycle, don't they? It all starts with reconnaissance, just looking around. Then it moves to grabbing credentials and breaking into cloud containers. After that, it digs in and establishes persistence so you can't get rid of it. And finally, it uses anti-forensics to wipe its footprints and cover its tracks. It's a complete end-to-end toolkit for a hack.
Now, this adaptive stealth feature, this is one of its most advanced tricks. Seriously, think of it as a digital chameleon. If VoidLink sniffs out security tools or any kind of monitoring on a system, it immediately slows down, gets quiet, and focuses on operational security, or OPSEC. But if it thinks the coast is clear, it flips the switch to high-performance mode and starts acting much more quickly and aggressively.
And that intelligence, it goes all the way down to how it hides. The logic here is just amazing. VoidLink will actually check the Linux kernel version of its target and then choose the perfect rootkit for that specific system. For older systems, it uses one method. For more modern ones, it uses what's called a loadable kernel module, which basically injects it deep into the operating system. And for the very latest, most secure systems, it can use something called an eBPF hook, a really modern technique to subtly manipulate how the system behaves. That level of adaptation is just incredibly sophisticated.
Okay, so we've seen the technical wizardry. It's impressive, right? But what does it all mean? Well, the very existence of a tool like VoidLink fundamentally changes the game. We need to talk about the new rules of attack.
You know, this quote from the researchers who discovered it, it really says it all. For years, a lot of people thought Linux and cloud environments were just inherently safer than traditional Windows networks. VoidLink is definitive proof that those days are over. They are now a prime, valid target for highly sophisticated attackers.
So why does all this matter so much? It's because VoidLink isn't just an anomaly. It's a symptom of major shifts in cybersecurity. It proves the cloud is the new battleground. It shows that malware is evolving into this polished, commercial-grade software. And by targeting developers and their credentials, it puts the entire software supply chain at risk.
So let's just quickly recap this whole story. It all starts with the discovery of just a few unusual samples. That leads to a deep, months-long analysis that uncovers this entire framework. And that brings us to today, where we understand the real implication. This is what the future of high-end cyber threats looks like. All of this, of course, begs the question, where do we possibly go from here? What comes next, now that we live in a world where threats like VoidLink exist?
To sum it all up, the real danger of VoidLink, the thing that makes it so formidable, is its intelligence. It completely automates the cat-and-mouse game of cyber defense. It profiles an environment and then, all by itself, selects the best possible strategy to stay hidden. It thinks, it adapts, it survives.
And that leaves us with one final critical question. As malware keeps evolving, becoming just as polished and professional as the software we use every single day, how do our defense strategies have to evolve to keep pace? How do you defend against a threat that looks, feels, and acts just like any other application in your stack? That is the challenge VoidLink presents to all of us.